As we enter into connected speech, we sort of enter a gray area. When we talk about broad transcription and we transcribe the phonemes, which are sort of the mental units, the building blocks that we have in our head as a blueprint for a word, we use slashes because it's broad transcription. It's not much detail involved in describing how it's actually produced. When we move from what's in our head to what comes out of our mouth, that's when we'll start doing narrow transcription. We'll be using diacritics, and we're going to describe exactly what allophones are actually being produced in that phonetic environment. Right now we're in a gray zone. We're sort of in between. We're sort of looking at the phonemes that we say and how the phonemes can change as a result of nearby phonemes, but we're not quite at the level of describing all of the allophones. So what do we do? Do we use slashes or do we use brackets? Well, your book does this sort of inconsistently. I think when you look at single words and you talk about how some sounds might be elided because of the phonetic environment, slashes would be appropriate. When we start getting into things like, did ya tell her that I was your daddy? And you have these phonemes that are not the typical phonemes of citation form. They're not the phonemes that are part of our mental blueprint of what we were going to say, but they're different phonemes that we say because they're being affected by other phonemes through assimilation. So my preference for that is that you use brackets. Now, in this gray zone, I'm not going to mark you wrong for using slashes or brackets, but try to do some deliberate decision making when you do this. So you can decide if you want to use brackets or slashes, if you think it's fairly close to our mental blueprint, slashes. If you think you've deviated pretty far from the citation form and the casual form, then brackets. But make sure you use one or the other. Hope this helps.